This is Module 11, Question 3. This is a really long question, so I might switch it into a couple different videos. The Hunter Corporation expects an EBIT of $31,480 each year forever. They have no debt. Their cost of equity is 14%, and their tax rate is 21. What's the current enterprise value of the company? What's the current equity value of the company? All right, let's type in their EBIT. Actually, let's do their tax rate and their cost of equity. The cost of equity is 0.14. The tax rate is 0.21. Okay, step one. We have our EBIT in year one of 31,480. And we need to pay taxes on it. The taxes are going to be that times 21%, and therefore our free cash flow is going to be that minus that. Let me make this all pretty in dollar-wise. There we go. And so, therefore, we can just do a non-growing perpetuity and get the enterprise value is just going to be that divided by the discount rate, 177,634 and 14 cents. And again, this is the idea. Let me add some columns here. So this is year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Forever and ever, this number encapsulates the value of the cash flows from all of those years. And let me add a little bottom line there. All right, so this is the year 0 enterprise value, and this is all equity. Oops, space. And let me make this a little bit wider. Okay, so we got that. Here's the answer down there. Now the company can borrow at 8%. What is the enterprise value of the company? Let's make this larger. If it takes on debt equal to 50% of its unlevered value, what is the equity value? Okay, so let's drop down here and we will do a 50%, or let's do leverage. That should be in a percent. The debt that the firm would take on if they did that would be 50% times 177,000. So this would represent, if they wanted a 50% debt to equity ratio. If they did that, there would be some present value to the tax, or present value of the tax benefit, and that would just be this times the tax rate. The way that I'm calculating that is this is the present value of all of the debt. So this would be the debt going forward, or it would come out above here, but it would be all the way going forward. So once we have this enterprise value, the rest of the stuff we can do in current value numbers. And so that's the present value of the tax benefit, which means the present value of the, actually, let's just call this the enterprise value. The all equity value minus the debt plus the benefit from the leverage. And let me make sure that that is, I'm sorry, that should be the equity value. And then the 50% debt enterprise value is going to be the debt plus the equity, which is 196. So let me highlight this, and I'm pretty sure that's right. Yes, okay. And let me explain kind of what's happening here. Our company was worth $177,000. When we added debt to it, our equity value went down, but the total value of the company went up. And so essentially what we're doing is we have less equity, but we have more risk, and so the company is worth more. And also the present value of the tax benefit is what does this. If you didn't have a tax benefit, you wouldn't care. It's sort of like the Modigliani and Miller lecture that we did last week. If you didn't have this $18,000 that you would get as a benefit of investing in or having debt finance, then you wouldn't care. This would be the same amount. So for instance, if you change the tax rate to 0, you get the exact same answer. This is the same as that. Notice the value changes. Obviously, when I change it to 0, the all equity value changes. All right, let's do the other one where it's 100%. We can do the exact same calculations, but we just have to make sure that all of the references are correct. Not C15, it's going to be that. Not C17, it's going to be that. And not C15, it will be that. Let's make sure I did all of that correct. Yep, 214. Okay, so if you did 100% leverage, you took out as much debt as you possibly could, you would end up with an enterprise value of 214. So notice the enterprise value goes up in each of these. It goes from 177 to 196 to 214. And the equity value goes down. So it goes from 177 to 107 to 37,000. And also the present value of the tax benefits goes up. So you go from 18,000, well, even if you have no debt, you still pay taxes. But here you get a tax benefit from the debt. So your tax benefit from the debt is 18,000 here, 37,000 here. As you increase your amount of debt, it makes sense that the tax benefit from having debt would go up. And just so I'm clear, this is not the same thing. This present value of the tax benefit is just the debt times the amount of taxes. So the lessons that you want to take, enterprise value goes up with debt, equity value goes down with debt, and the present value of the tax benefit also goes up. There is a third part to this problem. I'm going to do that again in another video. It's not super involved, but it's just easier that way. All right.